The escape pod crashes into Jakku's burning sand with tremendous force. Finn stumbles out, his Stormtrooper armor scorched and damaged. But something has changed within him during the chaotic battle above Jakku village. The force flows through Finn like electricity. He can sense life around him, creatures moving beneath the sand, scavengers searching through wreckage miles away. Most powerfully, he feels another presence, calling to him from across the desert. Rey feels it too. She drops her salvage and looks toward the crash site, her heart racing. Something is pulling her there, something she's never experienced before. The same energy that sometimes helps her fix broken machinery or avoid dangerous falls. When they meet at the wreckage of Finn's transport, both young adults freeze. The Force connects them instantly, two lost souls, recognizing their shared destiny. "You feel it too," Rey whispers, staring at this former Stormtrooper who somehow seems familiar. Finn nods slowly. "I don't understand what's happening to me. During the battle, I could sense everything. The fear, the pain. I knew things before they happened." Rey approaches cautiously. "I've had dreams, visions of lightsabers and ancient temples. And now, you're here." The moment their hands touch, both experience a shared Force vision. They see Luke Skywalker in exile, feel the darkness of Kylo Ren searching for them, and glimpse a future where they stand together against impossible odds. BB-8 rolls between them, beeping urgently about the map to Luke Skywalker. But now, the droid carries more than just information. It carries the hopes of two awakening Force users. As First Order ships appear on the horizon, Finn and Rey exchange a knowing look. Their dual awakening has been sensed across the galaxy. Kylo Ren stops mid-stride aboard his command ship, his masked head turning toward Jakku. "Two of them," he whispers, with growing dread. Luke Skywalker stands on the cliffs of Ahch-To, staring at the two young people before him. Rey holds his father's lightsaber with reverence. Finn stands beside her, his presence in the Force unmistakable. "I came here expecting one student," Luke says quietly. "The Force has sent me two." The old Jedi Master circles them slowly, studying their Force signatures. Rey's power burns bright and wild, like a star ready to explode. Finn's energy flows steady and controlled, tempered by years of military discipline. "Master Skywalker," Rey begins. "We both felt the calling. We both saw the same visions." Luke nods grimly. "The dark side is rising. Snoke grows stronger each day. One Jedi might not be enough this time." He activates his green lightsaber. The blade hums to life, casting emerald light across the ancient stones. "Your training begins now, together." The dual training pushes both students beyond their limits. Rey learns to channel her raw power through Finn's tactical mind. Finn discovers how to trust his instincts through Rey's fearless spirit. They practice lightsaber combat as partners, their movements synchronized through their Force bond. Luke watches with growing hope. "You fight as one mind in two bodies," he tells them after a particularly impressive sparring session. "This is something I never achieved, even with Ben." Weeks pass in intensive training. The students progress faster than Luke thought possible. Their connection allows them to learn from each other's mistakes instantly. When Rey struggles with meditation, Finn's disciplined focus guides her. When Finn doubts his abilities, Rey's confidence lifts him up. But their rapid progress comes with a terrible cost. Across the galaxy, Kylo Ren feels their growing strength like a knife to his heart. His rage builds with each passing day. The Supreme Leader's hologram appears before Ren in his meditation chamber. The twin Force signatures grow stronger. Snoke hisses. They must be destroyed before they can unite the Resistance. Kylo ignites his crackling lightsaber. "I'll handle both of them personally, Master." Snow falls heavily in the Starkiller base forest as Kylo Ren ignites his crackling red lightsaber. He expects to face one untrained scavenger and a defector with a stolen weapon. Instead, Rey and Finn step forward together, both wielding lightsabers with deadly precision. Luke's training has transformed them into something Kylo never imagined possible. "Two against one?" Kylo snarls through his mask. "You're both still weak." Rey and Finn exchange a knowing look. Through their force bond, they communicate without words. They've practiced this moment dozens of times on Ach 2. The battle begins with explosive violence. Kylo launches himself at Rey, but Finn intercepts from the side. Their blue blades clash against his red saber in perfect synchronization. Every strike Rey makes is covered by Finn. Every opening Finn creates is exploited by Rey. Kylo realizes his mistake immediately. These aren't two separate opponents. They fight as one mind controlling four arms. When he blocks Rey's overhead strike, Finn's blade slashes across his ribs. When he force pushes Finn into a tree, Rey's counterattack nearly takes his head off. "This is impossible," Kylo gasps, bleeding from multiple wounds. The forest echoes with the clash of lightsabers. Kylo grows desperate, using every dark side technique he knows, but his rage works against him. The calmer Rey and Finn become, the more unstoppable their teamwork grows. Rey feints high while Finn sweeps low. Kylo barely escapes losing his legs. He tries to separate them with a massive force wave, but they anchor each other through their bond and stand firm. The end comes quickly. Rey binds Kylo's saber while Finn delivers a devastating pommel strike to his helmet. The mask shatters, revealing Ben Solo's scarred face beneath. Kylo falls to his knees, defeated and humiliated. Two students have accomplished what Luke Skywalker himself never managed. They've beaten him completely. As the planet begins to collapse around them, Rey and Finn stand over their fallen enemy. But instead of finishing him, Rey reaches out her hand. "Ben," she says softly, "you can still choose the light." Kylo looks up with hatred and something else, fear of what these two might become. The news hits First Order High Command like a lightning strike. Kylo Ren has been defeated by two unknown Force users. The unthinkable has happened. General Hux paces frantically in the command center of his Star Destroyer. Intelligence reports flood in from across the galaxy. "Two Jedi working together, sir," his aide reports nervously. "They fought as one mind." "Impossible," Hux snaps. "Ren was trained by Skywalker and the Supreme Leader himself." But the evidence is undeniable. Security footage from Starkiller Base shows Rey and Finn moving in perfect harmony, their lightsabers cutting through First Order forces like they're nothing. Their coordinated attacks overwhelm even elite stormtroopers. Word spreads through the galaxy faster than hyperspace travel. On Coruscant, citizens whisper in the streets about two Jedi Knights who can defeat the dark side together. On Naboo, resistance cells double their recruitment efforts overnight. The psychological impact is devastating for the First Order. Their greatest weapon after Starkiller Base was fear. Fear of Kylo Ren's unstoppable power. Now that fear has been shattered by two young heroes working as one. "Our troops are questioning their training," Admiral Sloan reports grimly. "Morale is collapsing across multiple sectors." Even worse, Force-sensitive children across the galaxy begin experiencing the same visions that connected Rey and Finn. The Force is awakening in others, inspired by their example of unity and hope. Supreme Leader Snoke's hologram flickers with rage in his throne room. "Two students have undone decades of carefully planned terror," he hisses. "They must be destroyed before this infection spreads." But it's already too late. Resistance networks that once operated in secret now broadcast messages of hope across HoloNet channels. "The Jedi have returned," they declare. Not one, but two guardians of peace and justice. Princess Leia watches these broadcasts from the Resistance base. Tears of joy streaming down her face. For the first time since Ben's fall to the dark side, she dares to hope. But in the unknown regions, something ancient and terrible stirs. Emperor Palpatine's contingency plans begin activating automatically. The emergence of two Jedi has triggered protocols that even Snoke doesn't know about. The supremacy hangs in space like a massive golden dagger. 60 kilometers of pure First Order might. Supreme Leader Snoke sits on his throne, his scarred face twisted with fury. "Bring them to me," he commands his Praetorian guards. "I will end this myself." Rey and Finn are dragged into the throne room, their hands bound with energy restraints, but their force bond remains unbroken. They communicate through shared glances and subtle movements. Snoke rises from his throne, his damaged form towering over them. Two insects who think they can challenge the galaxy's rightful ruler. The Supreme Leader extends his withered hand. Force lightning erupts from his fingertips, more powerful than anything Emperor Palpatine ever produced. The electrical storm should kill them instantly. Instead, Rey and Finn stand together, their combined will creating a barrier of pure light. The lightning crashes against their defense and scatters harmlessly. Snoke's eyes widen in shock. Impossible. Your power. It's linked. We are stronger together than you could ever be alone, Rey says calmly. The ancient Sith Lord unleashes his full might. The throne room shakes as he hurls massive chunks of metal at them through the Force. He creates illusions to confuse them, summons dark side phantoms to attack their minds. Snoke realizes his terrible mistake. He built his empire on fear and isolation, turning people against each other. But these two Jedi represent something he never planned for unity that makes them invincible. The duel is brief but devastating. Snoke's rage-fueled attacks leave him exposed to their coordinated strikes. They move like dancers, each covering the other's weaknesses. As his throne room burns around him, Snoke falls to his knees, mortally wounded. But with his dying breath, he sends out one final message through the dark side. On Exegol, machines that have waited decades suddenly activate. Palpatine's eyes open in the depths of the Sith Citadel. At last, the Emperor whispers, "My true test has arrived." The First Order command structure collapses without Snoke's iron grip. General Hux struggles to maintain control as systems across the galaxy rebel against his weakening forces. Rey and Finn stand in the ruins of the Supremacy's throne room, but they're already planning their next move. Their partnership has evolved beyond simple combat into something far more dangerous for their enemies. I know every First Order base, every supply route, every weakness in their armor, Finn explains as they study holographic star charts. 20 years of conditioning gave me that. Rey nods, her fingers dancing across the ship's computer systems.
And I can slice into any system they have. Their technology is based on Imperial designs I've been scavenging my whole life.
Together, they become the Resistance's greatest weapon. Finn provides the intelligence, while Rey provides the technical skills to act on it. Their force bond allows them to coordinate attacks across multiple star systems simultaneously. On Jakku, Rey leads a mission to capture a First Order supply depot. While she disables their security systems with her mechanical expertise, she shares tactical information through their bond with Finn, who's attacking a weapons facility on Corellia. The First Order finds itself fighting a war on dozens of fronts at once. Every time they move troops to defend one system, another falls to the Jedi partnership. Their enemies seem to know their plans before they make them. It's like they're reading our minds, Admiral Sloane reports desperately to the surviving First Order leadership. They strike exactly where we're weakest. Finn's knowledge of Stormtrooper psychology proves equally devastating. He broadcasts messages directly to First Order soldiers, speaking their language, understanding their fears and doubts about the regime they serve. Entire battalions begin surrendering without firing a shot. The defection rate reaches critical levels as Finn's words spread hope through the ranks. Rey, meanwhile, uses her Force abilities to sense the emotional state of enemy commanders during negotiations. She knows exactly when to push and when to offer mercy, turning potential enemies into allies. But their greatest challenge still lies ahead. Deep in the unknown regions, Emperor Palpatine watches their progress with calculating eyes. They fight as one, he muses to his loyal cultists. But even the strongest bond can be broken with the right pressure. The Emperor begins preparing his final gambit. The ancient Sith temple on Moraband echoes with the sound of crackling energy. 6 dark figures emerge from the shadows, their weapons gleaming with malevolent power. The Knights of Ren have come to finish what their fallen master could not. Aplek raises his massive vibroaxe. 2 little Jedi think they can replace the old ways. Cardo ignites his arm cannon. energy crackling around the barrel. We'll show them what real darkness looks like. Rey and Finn stand back to back in the temple's center, their lightsabers casting blue light across ancient stone carvings. They're outnumbered 3-1, but their force bond makes them stronger than the sum of their parts. "Remember our training," Rey whispers. Finn nods. Trust in the Force, trust in each other. The battle erupts with explosive violence. Trudgeon's massive cleaver crashes down where Rey stood a split second before. She rolls aside, while Finn parries Ushar's war club, their movements perfectly coordinated. The knights fight with brutal efficiency, but they lack unity. Each warrior pursues individual glory, creating openings that the Jedi partnership exploits ruthlessly. Karuk fires his blaster rifle in rapid bursts, forcing Finn to take cover, but Rey uses the distraction to leap over Vikrul's scythe and strike down the gunman with one clean slash. "5 left," she calls out through their bond. The remaining knights grow desperate, their attacks becoming wilder and less coordinated. They've spent years terrorizing isolated Force users who fought alone and afraid. Rey and Finn represent something they can't understand. Two warriors who make each other stronger instead of competing for power. Aplek charges with his vibro axe raised high. Finn slides between his legs while Rey drops from above, their lightsabers crossing through the knight's chest in perfect synchronization. One by one, the Dark Warriors fall. Their individual strength means nothing against opponents who fight as one consciousness sharing two bodies. As the last knight collapses, silence returns to the ancient temple. Rey and Finn stand among the defeated, breathing heavily but victorious. But their triumph is short-lived. The temple floor begins to glow with Sith runes, activated by the spilled blood of the dark side warriors. A hologram materializes Emperor Palpatine, very much alive and smiling with terrible satisfaction. "Well done, my young Jedi," he says mockingly. "You've passed the first test." Emperor Palpatine's massive fleet emerges from the unknown regions. Thousands of Star Destroyers block out the stars above Exegol. The final order has revealed itself at last. But this time, the galaxy doesn't face the darkness alone. Rey and Finn stand aboard the Resistance flagship, surrounded by representatives from every major star system. Their victory against Snoke and the Knights of Ren has inspired something unprecedented: total galactic unity. "We've spent too long fighting this war in secret," Rey declares to the assembled fleet commanders. "Today, we fight as one people." Finn activates the galaxy-wide communication array. His voice reaches every world, every resistance cell, every Force-sensitive child who has dreamed of becoming a Jedi. "This is our moment," he broadcasts. "Not just to defeat the final order, but to prove that hope is stronger than fear." The response is overwhelming. Mandalorian warriors join the battle fleet. Former Imperial systems pledge their forces to the Resistance. Even Kylo Ren, finally redeemed by witnessing true unity, brings First Order defectors to their cause. But the real power comes from something else entirely. Across the galaxy, Force-sensitive individuals feel the call that Rey and Finn first experienced on Jakku. They don't fight alone anymore, they fight as part of something greater. The battle above Exegol becomes a symphony of light against darkness. Rey and Finn lead the charge, their partnership inspiring hundreds of new Jedi to fight alongside them. They move through space not as individuals, but as connected minds, sharing one purpose. Palpatine unleashes his Force lightning on an impossible scale, trying to destroy the entire Resistance fleet. But the combined will of every Jedi, every pilot, every person fighting for freedom, creates a barrier he cannot break. "You cannot stop what we have become," Rey tells the Emperor as she and Finn advance on his throne. The ancient Sith Lord realizes his fatal error. His power was always built on turning people against each other. But Rey and Finn represent the opposite strength, through unity, power through connection. As their lightsabers cross, striking down the galaxy's greatest evil together, the Force finally achieves the balance it has sought for thousands of years. The Age of the Sith ends not with the rise of one chosen one, but with the triumph of two souls who chose each other.